Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, my friends. Today we are watching Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 5, An Embarrassment of Dooplers. I think I have that right. My friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ringy-ding-ding that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted anytime we go live here on YouTube with any Star Trek or science fiction related content. Join us over here for all of the adventures, or if you'd like to get those adventures early or in a longer format, our link to the Patreon is in the description. Join us over there for a growing community and a growing library. We would love to have you. But my friends, that is then. This is now, and now it is time for Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 2, Episode 5, An Embarrassment of Dooplers. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. More coffee very early. No cold open. We rarely get those nowadays. I sort of like having the cold opens because then we can kind of speculate onto what we're going to see. Is the cold open going to bleed through? We've had a lot more of that. Earlier in the series, the cold opens usually held no relevance for the rest of the story. And they were basically like a 1.5 to 2.5 minute kind of mini episode where we got to see something that, didn't affect anything else. I sort of like those. I do like the ones, the cold opens that bleed into the actual plot of the story as well. I'm going to make note of this. I'm wondering if they have a method to their madness when it comes to having a cold open or not. Like, are the writers concerned about revealing something, or maybe they just don't have one for this episode? You know, it's a curiosity of mine because switching back and forth it's rarer than it is common.
Captain's log.
What do you got for us, Carol?
The Cerritos is escorting a Doopler emissary to Starbase 25 for trade negotiations,
Starbase 25.
which involuntarily duplicate as an emotional defense mechanism.
Oh my God, really?
Your hospitality is appreciated, Captain, as are your efforts to prevent me from duplicating. Oh!
Okay, so they duplicate when embarrassed.
We'll get to Starbase 25 just in time for the command conference.
What's that?
Oh yeah, 3 years ago Admiral Slattery got so drunk he commandeered a light cruiser. He didn't sober up till he was halfway to the Delta Quadrant.
That's a hell of a drink.
Because of my heroics in the battle against the Packlids.
They were, Carol. I like the callbacks too. I like the Packlid thing was a big event, and it should have been. Loss of a ship.
I can't believe we're going to be docked right outside the wildest party in Starfleet, but instead of getting torn, we'll be stacking.
Instead of getting torn.
I bet right now you wish you were still on the Titan.
Well, you are.
I meant if you were still on a capital ship like that, you'd be guaranteed an invite to this party.
Yeah, my stupid transporter clone William is probably going. You haven't even met him, but trust me, he's so annoying. Real stickler for the rules, kind of a butt kisser.
Maybe you got the interview or the invite.
You can pose as your clone, and I can be your +1.
You're right. Just to be safe, I'll call Clone Boimler and make sure he's cool with it.
What? All right, so sneaking into a party, I'm already down with this.
After a hard day of working on the ship, nothing relaxes me like building a smaller version of the ship.
Boy, before I lost my memory, I did some great work on this thing. Look at those phase inverters.
I like Mini Mariner bossing around Tiny Boimler in the itty-bitty bar.
That's hilarious.
But if I did it once, I could do it again. Oh, sorry.
Oh, so it's fully operational.
Good trip with your Doopler guest?
It was exhausting. Between us, I can't get him off the ship fast enough.
Oh, shit.
I was a bad guest. I'm so...
Here we go.
Oh, no! I duplicated! This is so embarrassing!
Oh, they're going to keep going.
We both did it!
Oh, boy. Oh, shit.
I can't risk this station being overrun with Dooplers.
Overrun with Dooplers.
Chaos on the bridge means no one's gonna notice one little transporter override. Come on.
Ooh!
Oh, Boimler very willing to break rules now.
Whoa, I've never been on a station this old.
Oh, look at those outfits.
Follow me. I used to live here.
Of course you did.
Really? Starbase 25.
Oh, that used to just be an empty lot where teens would make mistakes.
Teens would make mistakes.
Mariner, she's back.
Becky Mariner. Nice.
I should disintegrate you for stranding me on SETI Alpha 4, which I'll have you know is much worse than SETI Alpha 5.
SETI Alpha 5!
Boyfriend has it right.
Yeah.
Not my boyfriend.
Oh, come on now, Boimler.
Wait, that's what someone says when they're
Can they reabsorb?
Ow! Stupid me.
Maybe we just put it away.
No, I have to finish this.
Yeah, he's obsessed.
Ah, we're not supposed to be here.
Shut up. Just stay calm.
Yeah.
You guys are moving merchandise.
For a moment, I was worried this was a stolen card or something.
It's not, but the illegal weapons onto the bubble bath are.
Well, shit.
No, station security has a rep for being crooked.
I like those outfits.
Lucky for us, they're terrible drivers.
Why is that lucky?
Oh, 2, 3. Yep. Dear God. That was a great shot. They don't seem to be that bad at drivers. I mean, come on. How many people can identify them now? Oh my God. First off, I mean, this race needs to be like cordoned off from the galaxy.
Forget the cattle, are you crazy?
Got it.
He's obsessed with getting it finished.
The old me was better. I can't figure out his notes, and I'm like a year behind being friends with you. It's like I'm competing with my own ghost.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen. We're not sure how badly he's messed up either. Oh, for God's sakes. I mean, you're destroying Starbase 25. Oh my God. They don't seem to be that bad at drivers again.
We lost him. Never
Nope.
doubt me.
This is how I die.
This is how I die. Whoa. You've escaped. Oh my God, it's bubble bath now.
Aw, still alive.
Aw, that gardener has a backstory that we really need to know.
We can forget about the party because guess what? We're probably getting arrested instead.
No way.
Yep.
I didn't put on underwear for nothing.
Jesus, Beckett.
Name?
Brad, William, Boimler, USS Titan.
Go on in.
It worked.
It worked. Great.
Not you.
This is Beckett Mariner. She's my +1.
What ship you on?
The Voyager D? Fine, just go in without me.
I'm not gonna abandon you out here.
Oh, please.
Aw.
You love abandoning.
No, I don't. You're the abandoner.
You didn't think twice about taking that promotion to the Titan.
This is what that's all about. Time to work through this, guys, once and for all.
I've been waiting for you to apologize for weeks, you dumb jerk.
How was I supposed to know that? Maybe try being honest sometime. Ugh, whatever. I earned that promotion, but I guess you have to make it all about you. Some friend.
Ugh.
Hey, it's tough being vulnerable. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, shut up.
If you played that right, Beckett, you probably would have gotten into the party. What's this race? The bouncer and the waiter.
I'm sorry I can't finish the model. I just have to get used to knowing that the old me was a better engineer.
What?
They have to be killing themselves at this point. They have to be crushing each other.
Because as long as we were working on this, people left us alone. It was like our social deflector dish. We got to hang out without anyone bugging us.
So all these notes from old me?
Are probably just to slow down and buy time. I'm glad you're feeling better. Too bad we're gonna get crushed.
Not if we detonate the warp core.
Ejecting warp core in 5, 4, 3, 2.
That's a hell of a throw, Rutherford.
Is this because of us?
Yes!
You don't like us.
Oh my God, I can't stand them.
Can I get 5 more of these?
You, think that's a good idea?
Interesting. I'm actually going for bad idea.
Put those on my tab. Plus a prune juice spritz.
Prune juice spritz.
Don't tell me the party was boring.
It was amazing. Non-stop sliders.
You love sliders. So, why'd you leave?
It just wasn't fun.
Not enough famous admirals?
There were, but you weren't there to make fun of them with me.
Here we go.
I guess I was worried you would talk me out of it. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
There we go.
Of course I do. I just don't show them to everyone. I don't know why I make an exception for you.
Maybe because you're my number 1.
Wow.
Oh,
My number 1. I'm your mentor.
Nice try. We've already done that.
It goes by force of personality.
they'd be a hell of a team.
I'm sorry, Captain. The crowd has me now.
The crowd has me now. Sugar.
Stop being such whiny little.
There you go.
You idiots need to shut up and stop being sniveling babies.
There we go.
Getting embarrassed makes them lose control, but getting pissed helps them get it back.
Hey, you're a jerk. Excuse
Attention, everyone!
Insult them.
You face.
I'll let the doctor off. The doctor will clear this ship in 2 minutes.
Hey, cheer up. They've been running that stupid party for generations. You're not the first two to end up in here after striking out.
Oh, yeah? What is that? No way!
What?
What?
He and his pointy-eared pal tried to party crash back in, what was it? 2260 something.
Oh, I love it.
Right here.
Lady, you do not look that old. I am very jealous. Respect.
Appreciate that, baby.
Oh, I love the bartender.
Kirk and Spock.
The blonde one did most of the drinking.
The blonde one did most of the drinking.
Our ship might not be the biggest, and we might do the missions nobody else wants, but we are still.
That's right, Carol.
My crew deals with just as much as Picard's or any other.
Fuck yeah, they do.
I like your speech, Captain.
No, he was not.
Hey, check it out.
Should we hide?
Invite him in. Make your own party.
Oh, I hear ya. One time I let Admiral Verma put a up my.
Wait, what?
My meeting doesn't start for another hour. I'm wondering if you know any place I could relax. You know, someplace calm.
The party. Send him to the party.
This is a private party.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's crazy.
Well, since you're a new Rutherford, I figured it was time for a new model.
Deep Space Nine.
You know what? This worked out pretty well. Everyone I actually like to socialize with is here.
Yeah, turns out this is the best party in the quadrant.
Smiggle Moo, and is that Barnes with him? Yep.
Boimler's my number one. Now he has to grow a beard.
Now he has to grow a beard. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That whole episode for the last part was absolutely worth it. Oh, my God. That got me so bad. All right, my friends, we just got done watching Star Trek Lower Deck Season 2, Episode 5 already, An Embarrassment of Dooplers. Only one thing left to do, my friends, and that is to talk about it. All right, my friends, just got done watching Star Trek Lower Deck Season 2, Episode 5, An Embarrassment of Dooplers. This is the one we needed. I think the last of Season 1's kind of dangling threads has been addressed, and that was Boimler leaving without any type of explanation for the Titan at the end of Season 1. Such a good way to do it. Again, hijink episode, you know, kind of a buffoonery type mission of them trying to break into a party, destroying Starbase 25 along the way. A couple little bits of information about Mariner. Used to live on Starbase 25. Malvis was apparently someone that they both kind of got under each other's skins with prior dealings. Good stuff. We got to, again, it seemed like a lot of stuff was finished in this episode. And by a lot of stuff, I mean we had residual threads and problems from Season 1. The two biggest ones, like I already mentioned, was, you know, Boimler had to explain leaving for the Titan without talking to Beckett. He had to. And he did. And I think he did it adequately. I think that the explanation that, you know, if I had talked to you about it, you would have talked me out of it. I think that is very warranted and it's a very strong argument because she would have if she had decided, you know, to try to talk him out of it. She absolutely would have. She has an incredible amount of influence over Boimler, not in a manipulative way. I mean, sometimes she can, but in just a respect way. You know, Boimler really listens to what Mariner has to say. Now he will obviously, if he doesn't like, you know, it goes against Starfleet or something like that, he'll absolutely bring that up. He's able to, you know, I think it's interesting now that he's more willing to do this stuff with Mariner. Like, oh, we're going to break into the party and assume my clone's identity to do so. Okay, sounds great. I don't think Season 1 Boimler does that. I think Season 1 Boimler has she would have to, again, convince him to do that. Now he's just agreeing to it, which I like quite a bit. And I don't think that was an agreement that was born from him trying to, like, regain her favor, because I don't really think he was thinking about it, because when they finally brought it up, he was like, wait, I've been back for weeks. Why didn't you bring... He thought that was all over. So it's definitely not something that he was trying to mend any fences or anything like that with. And the other dangling thread that we had was, Rutherford's memory loss, the relationship that he and Tendi had developed over the past year of through season 1. And we saw not aggression, but frustration from Rutherford in this episode, not being able to understand himself, thinking he was less than now, that his old self was a better engineer, that he was just missing something, that he just couldn't put 2 and 2 together anymore. He doesn't remember how to put 2 and 2 together, so to speak. And it was that realization that not only was there a deeper meaning for the model between he and Tendi, there was a deeper meaning for their relationship. And again, I think this is something now that we can go forward from, and we don't have to address it anymore. I think of the 2 problems, Boimler's transfer without telling Beckett, and Rutherford's memory loss. Rutherford's memory loss will come back up again because it can't not. He's going to need to be reminded of something, or he's going to, misremember something or not remember something. That's going to come up. That's a device the writers could use forever from now on. I think it'll come up less and less frequently as he kind of redoes that year, learns what he had missed, or, those types of things, that kind of fills in the experience with another month, 2, 3, 6 months of experience. But that'll pop up. I don't think the stuff with and when we meet the clone again, which I'm sure we will, that'll pop back up maybe a little bit. But I'm very curious because we're starting to see, I'm not sure exactly where they're going to take the Beckett and Boimler relationship. I like the idea of Captain and Number 1 sort of being like the de facto designation, that's what they're using, because that's sort of the way it would be. Only if I'm making an observation, I would say that at this point right now, and I don't think either of them are ready for this level of command, but at this point, you would almost want Brad, like if you're on an exploratory vehicle, you'd almost want Brad in the chair and Beckett as Number 1. And the only reason why I say that is, it's not because I think Brad's a better captain than Beckett would be. I just know that Beckett's a way better first officer than Brad would be. I mean, if you think about what would have to happen when the first officer is usually the one that goes planet side, or, leads away missions, or, is not to be stereotypical, but you often see like the physical complement with a Riker to Picard and that type of stuff. There's no captains can be Kirk anymore. No, they can't go down to the planet and all that stuff. It wouldn't be allowed, I don't. But, with the way that they have everything worked out now and the way that they're kind of setting things up, it would definitely be more of Brad being in the chair, just to kind of, he would be stronger in the chair than he would be as a first officer. And so if you're assigning duties on the range of weakness, and how you're assigning duties basically based upon in which role would he F up the least. And it's strange to give it to Captain, but I think that that's the way it might go. Again, neither of them are ready for that level yet. Beckett could probably handle first officer, but and did. Beckett did handle first officer at the end of season 1, and I kind of had certain elements of that role going forward in season 2. But regardless, I think that here we are. I mean, okay, here's my problem. We are halfway through season 5. 5 episodes in, 10 episodes total, and now we are just, in my mind, we've kind of finally cleared the decks. I thought this was at the end of episode 3. I was wrong. We finally here in episode 5 cleared the decks with the major kind of emotional snafus, or the major kind of roadblocks in the relationships have been circumvented to a point where the relationships can continue to evolve. Man, took us halfway through season 2 to get there. Now, again, short episodes, you want to add the gravitas. You don't want to kind of just have a dump on 1 or 2 episodes where you kind of clean everything up and it's lackluster and kind of half-assed just because you know what they're doing. So I understand using it, spreading it out a little bit. My problem with it is that, and I don't know how you get around it. I'm saying this is a problem, but I certainly don't have the solution for it, because the writers are doing exactly what they need to in giving us different episodes that have a problem, and then working in getting those things from season 1 cleared up over the first 5 episodes of season 5 or season 2. But it's, I wish there was a way to do it faster. They don't have long enough episodes, and they don't have a long enough season. Now I'm curious as to see what we're going to have in the back half of the season. The pack lids are still out there. I think it's awesome that the pack lids are a big problem. I think it's so great that it wasn't something that was like a one and done with the Titans interference. And, you know, this is something that's an ongoing problem. I mean, the Titan is out specifically hunting pack lids. And that in and of itself, I mean, when you've devoted a capital class ship to just doing that, that's obviously a huge problem. Plus, you know, the Titan can't be taking out all of them at once. So I'm sure there's been other attacks on other Federation-friendly worlds or even members of the Federation by the Packlids. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, but I'm wondering now what the story will be. If the Packlids were kind of like the summation of Season 1, even though we didn't see them until Episode 10, they were a big enough problem that, you know, I'm curious to see now if, are we going to get another problem or an evolution of that problem, or do we see if there's somebody behind the Packlids, which kind of seems like there should be. There should be a puppet master somewhere behind the Packlids. I don't know, we'll see though, because the Packlids, every time I see that, and every time it's made mention of, you know, all the Titans here, or this is happening, or, you know, they're too busy to come over here. To me, that speaks of a distraction. That speaks of, hey, the Packlids are a prominent, you know, flashy light. Help me, you know, this is a problem you need to correct right now. Meanwhile, something else could be going on in the shadows that the Packlids are diverting all attention from. That's, I mean, if I was setting up something, that's what the Packlids would be. The Packlids are never going to beat the Federation simply because, you know, again, their intelligence is a factor, but their ability to use the starships come from the different, you know, societies and different races that they kind of cannibalize. So they don't really know what they're doing. They have a sledgehammer and they know how to swing it, but they don't know where to strike. They're not tactical. They're going to be easily overcome whenever like the full weight of Starfleet and the Federation would be thrown against them. They'd fold pretty quick. I'm curious though, because it's just the more that they're brought up and the more that they're kind of like an ongoing problem, it's every time they're mentioned, it's pinged louder and louder for me. This is a distraction. This is something that is being used by someone or some force to distract Starfleet away from whatever it is that they are doing. And I've been racking my brain trying to go back through the beginning of Season 5. Like, what are some throwaway things that we heard about? Like, did they mention, you know, like a colony or something that was having problems that we never really addressed? And I'm thinking, and I can't think of any kind of you know, kind of flair that they sent up in the description or kind of in the background that might build upon what the real story is. And it may very well not be a real story. It may be something completely independent. But friends, I'm telling you, I keep getting that ping that there's something out there and that the Packlids are distracting from that something. So I'm probably wrong. I'm usually wrong. Like I said, I'm right 10% of the time, and only then I'm only 50% right in what I'm saying. So let's see. I'm going to stick by it. I'm making my claim. I think the Packlids are a distraction, and I think whoever's behind the Packlids might be our problem for the back half of Season 2. Or even at the end of Season 2, problem for Season 3. It might even be that. Oh, my friends, I almost forgot. I actually shut everything down and realized that I didn't talk about my favorite moment of the episode, which is, of course, seeing the hand-carved Kirk and Spock on the bar and ending with, you know, the Mariner and Boimler carving beside it. Which, again, so many things go into that. You know, the historical significance of Kirk and Spock right there. But I often think that, you know, in 20, 40 years, if that bar is still standing at Starbase 25, the same bartender there, you know, obviously a very long-lived species, and somebody comes in, 2 ensigns come in, maybe doing the same thing, trying to get into the captain's conference. And they look down and they go, oh my God, Mariner and Boimler drank here. And the bartender goes, oh yeah, they came in and, you know, they drank and had fun and blah, blah, blah. And I think that that is such a great testament to the passion that the writers have. The final thing I'll say, I think a lot of people look at this show without having experienced it and take away the wrong impression. And the reason why I say that is I did that. I looked at Lower Decks before I had watched it, and I thought, this is a cartoon. It's going to be a parody of Star Trek. It's like Rick and Morty, you know. It's going to be like a joke factory type of thing. I don't think I've been more wrong about anything in a while. And again, I think a lot of people that maybe have some people even look at this and I think would have a negative. They are very defensive of Star Trek as a property. I mean, I'm doing this, watching all of these shows because I want to know everything about Star Trek, not because I'm just want the knowledge. I love it. I love these characters. And, again, I think that some people really need to give Lower Decks a chance for those moments. Kirk and Spock, and beside that freshly carved Mariner and Boimler. Friends, that shows a heart to the love of where Star Trek has been, what has been created, Kirk and Spock starting it all. Star Trek has the ability at any moment to give you one of the most heartfelt deliveries out there. And again, I am speaking from very limited experience, but I'm watching arguably I am watching the original series, the very first series, and I'm watching Lower Decks, which is one of the most recent ones. I've seen Strange New Worlds. I've seen half of Next Generation. There's a consistency and a quality of excellence. What more can you ask for? The only thing I would say is if someone would, and they were turned off by Lower Decks, I would say give it a chance. They're short episodes, 22 minutes. See if it catches you. I think you'll realize that they do both the history and legacy of Star Trek and the promise of the future very proud. But my friends, if you stuck with me this long, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, a ringy-ding-ding that bell for notifications for any time we go live here on YouTube with any Star Trek or science fiction related content. Or if you'd like that content early, link to Patreon is in the description, my friends. But I think that's all from the Lower Decks right now. We learned a lot about our crew. Now we got to find out the galaxy at large, what dangers lurk for the back half of Season 2. And I, for one, cannot wait, my friends. So until we meet again, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you next time.